Well, good day, everybody, and welcome to Ignite Humanity Live. I'm your host, JB Owen, and I am always excited to be on the show and talk with you and share with you and bring on wonderful guests to inspire you and talk about ways to ignite humanity. We all are at a place in our lives in this exact time in the world where we have an opportunity to connect with, reach out to, share, express ourselves, and be capable of doing the lives that we want, to build the lives that will inspire and ignite the lives of so many. And I know there are a lot of people watching the show who are like, I'm struggling, I'm having a hard time, I need help, and we are here for you. In fact, before every single show, I say a little prayer between me and my guests, and I just ask that I'm given the words to pour into people, pour into the hearts of those that need it. Truly pour in a message and an essence and a belief and an understanding and an excitement to live their lives the best they can. And my prayer is that something I say ignites you, unites all of us, and then helps you move forward in a life that you truly feel is filled with meaning and purpose and vision and direction. And even though we all struggle and we sometimes trip and fall over our own messes, it really is part of the human experience. And that is a wonderful experience to have, because through those experiences, we learn tenacity and strength and willingness and perseverance. And I often call those ignite moments, those trials and tribulations that we struggle through that actually give us the muscles and give us the strength to be the person that we want to be. We're calling in those challenges because we want to come out on the other side with more power, strength, and perseverance. And so wherever you are in the world right now, if you're struggling a little bit, that's okay, because many of us are struggling. It's what you do with it. It's what you do now. It's how you move forward that truly is going to make the difference. And I want to be, and my guests, I know, want to be the one to just pour into your heart and bless you in a way that maybe you haven't heard it before, or maybe you have heard it and you just need to hear it one more time. Or maybe you've heard something like it, but we're going to say it in a way that's going to mean a deeper experience for you, that's going to have some meaning to it and some essence to it, and really going to move you forward. And that's what this show is all about. We each have the power to ignite the lives of somebody else, and we start with ourselves. And we start right here, and we work on us, and we move forward so that we can create the lives we want. And that gives everyone permission to do the same. Well, it's going to be a great show, but if you'd like to know more about what we're doing, check out our website. We've got lots of fun things happening at ignitehumanity.life. It's our website that is filled with the information about our book, our movie, our docuseries, and all the things that we are committed to, including building schools in countries overseas to help kids ignite their lives through literacy. Well, let's get going. It's Tuesday, so we're talking about fun things about awakening. And our amazing guest, Alina Buteica, exactly, is a sacred femininity and conscious leadership coach, as well as a celebrated feminine wisdom author. She is the creator of the Illuminated Essence Goddess Retreats and experiences for women to step into their power, gifts, and radiance. She believes we live in a times where the feminine and the masculine energies are meant to be in balance, and that has to do with women owning their inner power, their intuition, their sacred gifts, their mind, body, heart, soul connection, and expressing their voices to the world through projects and companies, collaborations, and visionary offerings. The feminine energy is so nourishing, loving, wise, and deeply needed in these times of transition for all of humanity. And our guest has a beautiful, caring way to share and show that to each of you. Welcome, my gorgeous. Welcome to the show.
Hi, so happy and honored to be here with you, Lady JB, and with all the audience, everybody watching us from across the world. It's exhilarating to be here, and I'm super happy and honored.
I love having you here, talking about feminine energy and masculine energy and the combination of it. And you are overseas in Portugal, which I love to mention, because many people feel like, well, these are just all the same people in the same community, and we're not. We are a community of individuals all over the globe, and we are, peppering in our magic, love, and care and excitement for humanity in all different corners of the world. And I just love that you're coming to us from Europe, sharing some of your magnificence. If somebody wanted to really understand and grasped what it is you do and what it is you're passionate about. Can you encapsulate that for us?
Yes, sure. So I'm a sacred femininity and leadership coach. So that means I help women get deeper in touch with their path, with their voice, and share it in a compelling way in the world by coming back first. I work on. I love to say that I work on 3 dimensions: feminine spirituality, feminine embodiment, and then feminine business. So I help them in all 3 aspects. To me, the lost and forgotten aspects that brought me actually here to this work were the spirituality aspect and the embodiment, the feminine spirituality and the feminine embodiment. And I hope we will have a little bit of time to talk
Yeah, I
about
mean,
that in the
well,
show.
let's dive into it. Tell me tell me really what the embodiment piece is, because I think a lot of women are like,
Mhm.
well, of course I'm a woman. I was born a woman. I do the things that women do. But
Mhm.
share a little bit about that embodiment, because many of us are disconnected to that feminine side of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So for me, feminine embodiment is coming back to the ancient sacred knowledge that is coming more and more to the forefront nowadays as well. The knowledge and the living through each and every cell of our body that we are temples. We are walking, living temples for our voice, for our soul, and ultimately for the divine to express in this world. I used to live for many, many years disconnected from my body, thinking that I'm very feminine, I'm very beautiful, I'm very, um, I considered myself as a beautiful, mature woman, only to ultimately, through a journey of burnout, uh, discover and recognize that I was severely disconnected from my body and my body's intelligence. Because, of course, when you reach the point of burnout, that means your body is screaming at you, literally. It's
Right.
screaming to stop. That's for me, the definition of burnout is the body screaming, stop. And it was a major stop that I got. I'm actually getting the chills as I speak about this. A major stopping sign that I had ignored until it became a burnout. When this was back in 2018, so not so far from today. But feminine embodiment for me meant, first of all, giving myself the rest I needed, giving myself the nourishment my body needed, coming back to um, honoring my body's needs, and also the need for beauty. I actually love this background I have behind me,
Mm-hmm.
because I was living actually and working in a very harsh environment at the time. So redesigning every aspect of my life, including how I was surrounding myself with beauty, meant coming back to my body. And nowadays, the women that I work with, I actually speak to them about deciding and prioritizing what actually is to them, what makes them feel alive, what makes them feel in their body. There's a lot of talk about awakening as being ascension, but I love to rephrase it as ascension is also a journey of coming more into your body, bringing down into your body the wisdom that you're here to embody, of the wisdom of the divine, the wisdom of your soul, and our bodies. We've been programmed, actually. I feel that we've been programmed a lot as a society to discard the body as being part of the equation of the divine.
Mm-hmm.
But in my own knowledge and through my own experiences, I've come to understand that every part of us is divine. And the body and the ancient feminine feminine schools of the ancient feminine schools that were honoring goddesses and divine feminine spiritual guides were recognizing that the body is part of that equation. The body is sacred as well. So when we are on the go, 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 do, only honoring the external and what we are told to do, oftentimes we disconnect from that knowledge that our body actually can tell us a lot of times if something or if somebody, if a place is in line with us or not. So it's the missing piece of the equation. It's bringing down all the mental part and all the chatter of the mind, It's coming back to our bodies, is allowing us to come back to coherence, because none of our parts is less important than others. It coming back into coherence means actually honoring as well the body as being part of that equation of this ascension, of this collective awakening that we're going through.
Yeah, and there's a lot of big pieces to it. I think many of us, we ignore what we eat, for example. We
Yeah.
ignore that we're not sleeping well. We don't think about our air quality. We sleep with our phones beside our heads on our bedside table. We have an ache and a pain and we don't listen to it. We really want to sleep and we don't sleep. We're feeling digestive issues and we ignore them and we keep eating those foods. I mean, we've come to be a bit numb to the call and the messages that our bodies are giving us. And what you're saying is the more you get connected to that, the more you're connected to your divine self, the more, in fact, more powerful and productive you can be if you're really honoring your body.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's why the first step of my work is actually coming back to balance in our bodies. So coming back to balance in our bodies in various ways, because everybody is different, and there's different measures that we can all take. Exactly what you were saying. Maybe our environment is out of sync. Maybe our sleeping patterns are out of sync. Maybe our diet is out of sync. Maybe our even when it comes to movement, feminine embodiment for me has to do a lot with allowing ourselves to move in the way that we most need, without any prescriptions, actually. So
Do you have some
dancing.
examples? I love examples. I love to learn. Is there
Yeah.
anything you can teach us right now?
So for me, part of my morning routine is actually to freely dance through my home, and that's one of the practices I encourage most ladies to try in their own way, at their own will, to reintroduce. It's like a little dare challenge that I love to give, to reintroduce dancing, and choose any playlist that your soul most feels called to listen to, that makes you feel good in your body, that makes you feel, depending on the quality and the sentiment, the feeling you want to nurture or nourish in yourself. So for example, if you want to feel a little bit more alive and sexy and on the go and on fire for the day, choosing a playlist that is that way and allowing your body to move naturally on it. And if you feel more melancholic and want to slow down for the day, just allowing your body to flow, to dance on that rhythm. That's the best way to come back to our bodies for me. Dance and free dance, because everybody, there's no such thing as a person who's out of rhythm. They're just out of exercise with dancing. That's all.
It's true.
Yeah.
I had a self-love coach that shared with me that dancing is so important in the morning, but at night she would say, like, get a really beautiful favorite lotion and then like rub it on your hands and like just really, really care and really take the time to like really care. And then when you're putting cream on your face at night, like just really nurture yourself and love yourself. It's a great nighttime routine. It doesn't cost any money, folks. It's something you can so easily do to just give some nurturing love back to yourself and put great lotion and really care about your skin and care about you. I think that all of these are important. Women need them, men need them too, of course.
Yeah.
Let's jump over to the spirituality side. So that was the embodiment. Can you talk a little bit about the spirituality?
Oh, yes. That I'm saying
oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
This is vulnerable share. This is completely vulnerable share. Interestingly, for me, spirituality was the path I least expected as part of this continuous awakening journey that we're all in. You know, anybody that says, I'm awakened, that's it.
Right.
I haven't yet met a living Buddha.
Layers,
layers and layers and layers. Exactly. So, but that was for me, like, it's connected a lot to my Ignite moment, so to speak. So after
tell us I love Ignite moments. I'm so grateful for them. Tell us.
Awesome. Well, Well, so I already mentioned the burnout. What was happening at that time is that all of my life, I had been on a continuous treadmill of proving myself and going after success. What I had been told and taught. We're all taught to look at success in various ways, but I had never realized what was truly fulfilling and satisfying to me, to my heart. So I found myself in a job that I was really good at, and I had reached the top of the position and the ladder that you can climb. My previous background is HR in that respect and in that side of my life, and but I had neglected all the signals I was getting from within that were telling me there's more to life than what you're doing, Alina. I was craving to work with people on a much deeper level, and I was craving to teach things like meditation, how to slow down, um, how to become more mindful of your activities, and all of that was not necessarily. Now it's becoming more widely spread in the corporate world,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't used to be. I'm so happy to see it's becoming more widely
Right.
spread. Uh, so my at that time, I remember it was back in or yeah, it was back in 2018, and I had um, a corporate training I was running, and it was after 2 weeks of speaking 8 hours every day, Monday to Friday. I was standing and speaking 8 hours every day. That I suddenly experienced on a Friday like rapid heart palpitations, and it literally felt like a heart attack. And I was only 35 at that time. Like, goodness
Wow.
gracious, 35 and a heart attack at 35. I thought it was a heart attack, and I was rushed to the hospital. It's so subtle and so interesting how our bodies are so intelligent. So my body kept me going until I had finished all the trainings. And
Of course.
when the last person went out of the training room, that's when my body crashed. Like, again, I'm getting the chills as I say this. Our
Right.
bodies as women are so intelligent to keep us going until the very last moment. So I was rushed to the hospital, and the doctor said, "No worries, it's not a heart attack, but she's going through a severe exhaustion phase." I was literally like, my body was completely exhausted. So he recommended taking some time off. And I didn't necessarily. I mean, I gave myself that weekend. I went back to work, and I was in a situation where I did receive a little bit of sympathy, but the culture still at that time
Keep going.
was keep going. Yeah. So it was kind of like I got a pat. I went back to work. I got a pat on the back, and my direct manager at that time asked me, "Are you good? Okay, let's keep going now." Exactly, or like you said, and I did keep going. But something inside of me had changed forever, and would never be the same. Interestingly, what was happening in my private life, when one piece of the domino falls, the whole
Right.
domino falls.
Right.
So that led later on in the year to my decision to take time off for myself and to travel and to take care of my body and to go after my what was truly calling me, my heart's callings. But at the same time, another big piece of the domino was falling. I was in a relationship, and it was like my Romeo and Juliet relationship, very, very deeply, like with challenges, but at the same time there was so much attraction, and it was like fire. We couldn't be apart from each other, but at the same time difficult. We were from completely different backgrounds. We were from completely different cultures. We were like it was truly a Romeo and Juliet story, because
Mm-hmm.
his particular culture was expecting him to marry from his culture, and truly that's another story for another day. But as you can imagine, I was, as a deeply in love woman, I didn't expect the moment when the that would crumble as well. So it did crumble. We were also in our childhood patterns in many ways. So I was basically, the whole universe forced me into my journey of back inside of myself, back inside of my own castle, my own home, my own body,
Mm-hmm.
and and
Mm-hmm.
and my and I was forced to stay with myself for a while, pre-pandemic, yeah, 2018, and realize what is actually happening, Alina? Like, how come everything is falling apart and why? And I did realize that I hadn't actually, all these years, I was listening to external voices in terms of what success means. I had
Right.
listened to the voice of my, bless them, they're really useful. But at the same time, we're also here to discover what we truly want. We're here to learn by trial and error in many
So
ways.
true.
So it was part of my trial and error journey, all of this. So what happened is that I took some time off for myself, and um, in one of the one of the practices I had invited in my life, speaking of spirituality, and it's not only feminine, it's feminine and masculine spirituality, was meditation. And I was meditating daily. I was connecting to my heart daily. I was receiving downloads. I had started writing poetry all of a sudden. There was like these gifts coming out of me that I was like, whoa, what's happening? Pandora's box has been unleashed. And I would be dancing through the house. It's like things that I would never imagine myself doing would start happening. And one night I had a dream. This was when I was in the midst of the very rough patches of having had my heart broken and my relationship crumble. I had a dream one night, and in that dream, I will never forget this. There was my dad, and next to him was like this little dog, which I recognized was our black Labrador. And in his hands, he was holding a pergament, a beautiful, like it looked like this beautiful paper, pergament written in with actually a poem written on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never forget this because when I woke up, the only two verses of that poem I remembered were two, like these beautiful verses written in gold. And um, they were saying, fear not or worry not, you are protected, and Isis is one of your protectors. And I didn't know at that time, who is Isis? What are we talking about here? I woke up, but the one thing that I knew when I woke up is that the pain had been lifted. The pain was
Mm-hmm.
completely gone. It was almost like I had gone through this alchemical process overnight in the middle of my dream. There was like this, something had me lifted off of my chest. And I frantically started searching on Google the next day, who is Isis? Speaking of feminine spirituality, this is like how I was literally pushed again by the universe. It was never necessarily voluntary. Everything that happened to me was like I was being pushed, nudged by the universe.
Right. And it was like unfolding before you.
Yeah, sometimes we need a kick in our beautiful
Yeah. Something to
uh,
wake us up,
feminine
something
parts
to
to wake
awaken
us
us.
up. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Very, very powerful.
So I Googled and I found out about this beautiful goddess, Egyptian goddess, and that she is a mother. She's a mother goddess, bless her. She's a goddess of alchemy, of transmuting difficult emotions. That's exactly what I
Beautiful.
was going through, transmuting difficult emotions and turning towards our shadow and owning our shadow and transmuting it into love and into light, into higher living and well-being. She's a goddess of fertility as well, and
So you kind
connects
of got
to
like this
sovereignty.
wonderful, like spiritual download, this spiritual
Yeah,
connection. And
and
what's so beautiful about that is you followed through and you decided like you were going to
yes,
do something. And that became kind of the beginning of this beautiful work that you do now in
mm-hmm.
embodiment, in spirituality, and in
Mm-hmm.
business. And we haven't even had a chance to just dip into that. But I think a lot of women now are doing business. There's a lot of women in business, they're understanding, but you and I have talked about this before. There's a different currency around the way women do business than how
Mm-hmm.
many men, the male energy, and women are bringing a different essence into
Mm-hmm.
business. It's so
True.
important, these three different parts. And I love that you have shared this. We only have a short time left. And I think what I would really appreciate from you, because you have the trifecta of this beautiful synergy, can
Mm-hmm.
you share some awakening words to a woman who might be at home, might be sitting on the couch, might be listening to this in her car, might be feeling disconnected, might be feeling burnout? Just some little words of wisdom in our last 60 seconds to share with her how
Mhm.
to step into that part of her that is awakened and will ultimately ignite her life and others?
Well, my love, I would say trust that everything is and forever has been inside of you. Much like I had that dream that woke me up to realities that were part of me that I didn't know about, you too hold within you the key to a higher level of embodiment, of living, of wisdom. So I would say, trust your heart. Start talking more often to your heart, listening, first of all. Start by listening to your heart and your silent heart nudges. And then
Mhm.
step by step, the more you start following that, the it's like breadcrumbs. The universe will gently gently support you on your way forward.
Beautifully said. Beautifully, beautifully said. And it's true. They are little crumbs. They are a gentle nudge. It
Mm.
is a journey. It's never just done over fix.
Yes,
And
and it's
be
about
excited.
listening. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. Well, here's how you can find out more about what our amazing guest is up to on the other side of the world and doing things. And of course, I was so blessed to be on her show and a part of her summit that she did just recently. I love showing up, talking to women who are stepping into their goddess energy and beautifully loving themselves. Love
yeah.
what you're doing. Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you. Thank you
Blessings
so
to
much,
you.
Lady JB. And
Thank
thank you
you
to
so
all.
much. It's incredible because there is something inside of each one of us, and this is a beautiful episode to have in the month of May, as we're all honoring our mothers and really leaning into the grace and beauty of moms and moms around the world. This feminine energy, the power of the woman, the power of knowing, embodying, and being just seeped into the grace and the beauty of you. Listening to those nudges, feeling your heart, and then just really putting it into your body in a way that empowers you and inspires you and propels you forward. Well, we love having you on our show. If you've got a story to share, so please fill out our type form and tell us how you are igniting humanity so we can showcase you. And of course, you can watch all of our episodes on Traverse TV. We're here Monday to Fridays. And you can also go to our website where we give away all of our episodes to you to access, to enjoy, and you can see them all over the globe. We want you to ignite humanity in your own way. And if you would like to help us with our charity initiative, we are building schools in third world countries, and every single dollar you donate will go towards a brick in one of our schools. In fact, we're even doing something really fun called the Bouquets of Hope. You, for Mother's Day, or just because, can spend $12 and buy 12 digital roses for your loved one, and those $12 will buy 12 bricks for our school. Well, big blessings to you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Awaken to what's possible. Seep into your beautiful energy and love exactly who you are. We'll see you tomorrow.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and all of our futures.